Hello friends, my name is Dhiren Gohil and today we are going to study the chapter of grade 7th, Two Big States. So, in this chapter we will study two big states, that is Kanauj and Vatapi, about Harshvardhana and his administration and also life of people. Imprints left by Harshvardhana about Nalanda University, about Yang Sang and his writings, about Pulkesi too. So, are you students ready? So, let's study about topics in detail. First, we will study about Harshvardhana and his kingdom Kanauj. Presently, Uttar Pradesh was the area of Kanauj at that time. Harshvardhana ruled from 606 to 647 CE. King Harshvardhan was born in 606 CE. After the death of his father, Prabhakarvardhan, Harshvardhan's elder brother Rajivardhan ascended the throne of Thaneswar. In present, it is Punjab Haryana area. However, Rajivardhan was killed by the king of God Shashank. Their sister, means Harshvardhana's sister Rajashri, was imprisoned by the king of Malwa, Devgut. Under these circumstances, Harshvardhana shouldered the responsibility of Thaneswar and he became a king at that time. Immediately after ascending the throne, Harshvardhana decided to free his imprisoned sister Rajashri. In the meanwhile, she had escaped from the clutches of Devgut and ran away into the Vindhya forest. He went in search of his sister and with the help of the people living in the forest and a Buddhist hermit, Divakar Mitra, he stopped her from committing sati. And that is how Rajashri met Harshvardhan. Since Rajashri kingdom, Kanauj, was without any king at that time, Harshvardhana became Uttar Pradesh, means Kanauj's ruler. Later, Harshvardhana defeated Devgut, the king of Malwa, who imprisoned her sister. As a part of his preparation to launch an attack on Shashank, the god king, he formed an alliance with the king of Kamrup, that is Assam, and the name of the king of Kamrup was Bhaskar Varman. With the help of a large army, Harshvardhana defeated the god king and won over a major part of his kingdom. Harshvardhana also conquered Malwa and Saurashtra, but was unsuccessful in defeating Pulkeshu too, who was the king of the Chalukya dynasty, who is ruling over the southern India. After 7 successive victorious years, Thaneswar emerged as a large kingdom in the northern India. Now, let's learn about the Harshvardhana's reign and administration. Harshvardhan was personally supervising all the administration of his state by traveling extensively to different parts of his empire. He also divided his daily routine into 3 parts. Means he had a fixed schedule. The first was for administrative purpose, while the other 2 parts were devoted to people welfare and religious activities. He was so diligent in carrying out his administrative responsibility that at times he even forgets to have his meal. Here are some important things to know about the Harshvardhana's administration. You may read this at your pace. A question is also kept for all of you. I request you to think about it. What were the imprints of Harshvardhana? Imprints means some memory which cannot be forgotten. Harsha built many rest houses, wells, step wells, lakes, muds, and viharas, and also prohibited animal slaughter. Every year he organized a Buddhist religious meet, and every 5 years he would organize a huge religious congregation at Prayag. Prayag was a place, okay? Now, what is the meaning of congregation? So, congregation means a group of people who have come together in a religious building for worship and prayer. That means congregation. In this congregation, he would donate generously till his entire treasury was emptied, and would even give away the ornaments he would be wearing at the time. The great Sanskrit poet and writer Banbhat adorned his court. Banbhat's famous works, Harshcharit and Kadambari, are famous even today. We come to know about many important aspects of King Harshvardhana's reign from Harshcharita. King Harsha himself was a writer and wrote 3 plays: Naganand, Ratnavali, and Priyadarshika. One of the most interesting topics in this chapter is Nalanda University. After knowing about it, I am damn sure that you will be amazed. Nalanda University. It is the fact that the Nalanda University was the best university till now. Nalanda had 8 separate premises and 10 temples, along with several other meditation halls and classrooms. Here, a library was located in a 9-story building which housed millions of books, including 90 lakh manuscripts. Not only India, but students from Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, Indonesia, Iran, Greece, Mongolia, and other countries also came to study in the university. In 1193, Nalanda University was ruined by the Ottoman Muslim invaders under Bakhtiyar Khilji. Persian historian Minhaj Siraj, in his book Tabaqat-e-Nasiri, wrote that 1,000 monks were burned alive and 1,000 monks were beheaded while ruining the university. The library was burnt. Then historians wrote that about the library that the books in the library kept burning for about 6 months, and the smoke of the burning manuscripts had taken the form of a huge mountain. King Harsh extended all possible assistance to Acharya Shilabhadra and made Nalanda into a world-famous university. The university had access to the revenues of 100 villages given to them by King Harsh for its upkeep and maintenance. You can read the given information, which is very important for you to remember about Nalanda University. At last, one question is also given to you. I request you to give it a thought about it. Here you can also see the destructed Nalanda University photos. I hope you would be mesmerized with the glory of Nalanda University. And you might be sad because we lost this beautiful and amazing monument. Now, let's get some more information about the life of the people during the reign of Harshvardhan. Information about the reign of King Harsh is available from the writings of Chinese traveler Yang Seng. Towns and villages of the time were fortified and had huge gateways at their entrance. The society was divided into 4 groups. While the Parda system and intercaste marriages were not prevalent at that time, the customs of sati, child marriage, and polygamy had started by then. The local diet consisted of milk and milk products, wheat, rice, fruits, and vegetables. They wore clean, simple white clothes. Men wore dhotis and women wore saris. Their ornaments, rings, bangles, bracelets, necklaces were made from flowers. Chess and games of dice were popular means of entertainment. Acrobats and conjurers wandered from village to village entertaining people. Farming and animal husbandry were the main occupations of the people. Land revenue was 1/6 of the production. Internal and international trade was carried out by the Vaishyas. A highway from Patliputra to Bhrugu Kutch, that is Bharuch, port was built by the state for trade and transportation of goods. Gold and silver coins were used for commercial transactions. Ornaments, statues, ivory, and carved wooden pieces were exported. The export of different materials from India increased her prosperity. During the reign of King Harsh, India had good business relations with Rome, which led to the inflow of gold in India. People followed Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, but were tolerant towards other religions. Let's know about the Yang Seng. The Chinese traveler Yang Seng visited India during Harsha's reign and studied Buddhism at Nalanda for 5 years. Yang Seng stayed in India for 15 years and visited different places. He has described the social, political, and religious conditions of that time. In 645 CE, Yun San returned to China via Central Asia and took with him many books, relics, and statues. During his stay, he attended the 6th Buddhist religious congregation at Prayag. Yun San has noted that there were 100 Buddhist mutts in Harsha's kingdom. People lived a simple, pious, and peaceful life based on living by rules of good moral conduct and justice. Cheating and breach of promise were considered sinful. So till now, we have understood about the first state Kanauj and Harshvardhana. Now we will learn about the second big state, that is Vatapi and the king of Vatapi, Pulkeshu II. When King Harsh was ruling over his empire in North India, King Pulkeshi II was ruling in southern India. He had earlier defeated Harsh. The kings of the Chalukya, that is Solanki dynasty, established a vast empire in South India, which they ruled from their capital at Vatapi, right now Badami, Karnataka. Pulkeshi I, a great king of Chalukya dynasty, performed the Ashwamedh Yagna. Pulkeshi I's flag had the symbol of Varahavatar. Pulkeshi I's son Kirtivarma ascended the throne after him. Kirtivarma was succeeded by his brother Manglesh, who built the grand Vishnu temple at Vatapi. After Manglesh, the righteous Pulkeshi II became king and ruled over the empire for about 30 years. Pulkeshi II ruled from 610 to 642. Pulkeshi was a valiant king who won many battles. His first victory was over Lat, that is South Gujarat, followed by his win over Gurjar, that is on North Gujarat. He gained control over the Vangi region that lay between the rivers Krishna and Godavari, and also acquired Andhra Pradesh. He transformed the capital Vatapi into a city of magnificence and splendor. The armies of Harshvardhana and Pulkeshi II fought a great battle near river Narmada, in which the Harsha was defeated. This halted Harsha's expansion towards South India, and so the empire of Kannauj could not extend beyond Narmada. Pulkeshi II was not only a great warrior but also a lover of arts. The cave of Vatapi and Dharapuri were built during his reign. The famous cave murals of Ajanta were also painted at that time. In his travels, Hyung Sang visited the court of Pulkeshi II and has given a vivid account of its grandeur. The kings of the Chalukya dynasty were followers of Hinduism. During this time, Buddhists went into decline while the Digambar Jain sect gained popularity. Harshvardhana and Pulkeshi II were contemporary rulers. However, Harsh fought fewer battles as compared to Pulkeshi II, who continued waging wars. Pulkeshi II finally met his end in 642 CE in a conflict with Pallav king of Kanchipuram. King Harshvardhan died 5 years after Pulkeshi II. I hope you have got many information from the video. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe the channel for more video updates. Bye bye.